Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Olivia Jade. And if you don't know who she is the daughter of Lori Loughlin, who was in Full House and Fuller House. And the scandal is that her parents paid like $500,000 for her to get into USC and pretended to be on the rowing team when in fact she was not supposed to get into UFC and she was not on the rowing team. So if you guys want to hear what she had to say, because she finally just came out and did her first interview, I'm going to break it down. If you guys like these type of videos, make sure to subscribe, like, and let's get to it. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a background story before I get into her interview, only because it did kind of happen a little bit ago and I just want to, refresh your memory. Or if you haven't heard about this story, it'll make more sense to you. What happened was her mom and her dad ended up paying $500,000 to USC. They donated the money and they ended up pleading guilty to conspiracy charges earlier this year, and they're actually both in prison right now serving their time. Her mom is spending 2 months in jail and she's actually scheduled to be released pretty soon, and her dad has to spend a little bit more time. Also, Felicity Huffman, she was in jail too. I don't think she was in jail for very, very long. It was like a week or something, because that's when the whole pandemic and all that kind of started. And difference to me between the two is that Felicity Huffman, as soon as it all came out, she wrote her wrong. She apologized. She pled guilty. She did her time. She did her community service. She just kind of was like, yep, you caught me. I'm stupid, I'm sorry. And I feel like she really owned it, you know what I mean? She owned up to it. Whereas Lori Loughlin kind of didn't plead guilty at first and kind of tried to fight it a little bit and just made it more of a hard time. And when you saw Felicity Huffman like going in and out of court and stuff like that, she looked more run down, a mess. She more in her appearance that it was obviously affecting her. Whereas when Lori Loughlin was going in and out, trying to really fight it, she was like hair and makeup, dressed up. And it said too that when the police came to her house and all that stuff, that she kind of was really snotty about it and didn't want to accept that she was going down for it. The problem is Olivia Jade had brand sponsor deals with like Sephora, different makeup brands, obviously very privileged. The dad is a owner of a kids clothing brand at Target. Obviously the mom's doing great with her acting career, and it's obvious she grew up very, very privileged and wealthy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You work for what you have. I get it. By all means, live however you want, as long as you're not affecting other people or hurting other people, right? So the problem with this is, obviously it goes on with the wealthy. They get to do things and they get first chance opportunities at things that other people don't, and they also get to cheat their way sometimes to the top, as we saw here, which is totally unfair and not cool. Right? As soon as all this came out, Olivia, went into hiding, says she was super embarrassed. The biggest problem and concern with this is, white privilege. Banfield Norris, who's on the show, says that she fought it tooth and nail because, and I quote from her, she says, "I just found it really ironic that she chose 3 black women to reach out for her redemption story. I feel like here we are, a white woman, coming to black women for support when we don't get the same from them. It's bothersome to me on so many levels. Her being here is the epitome of white privilege." And I couldn't agree more with her. It's pretty obvious that people of color, and not only people of color, people who aren't as rich or well off as Olivia Jade, has it way harder, way different. And kind of for her to want to go on Jada's talk show is a little bit, during the Red Table Talk, they basically asked her, why did you choose this avenue to take as, your way to come out and make your first interview? And of course, Olivia said because she feels like it's a safe place. Everything will be put on the table openly and honestly. I love Jada's thought process. I love how she has this way to connect with people, even if she doesn't agree with them. I really love how she doesn't seem like she is attacking you. Jada Pinkett Smith definitely has such a zen vibe and an open mind, which I love about her, but she just has this essence that is just so raw and real and not fake, and you can tell she's not fake nice. Kind of see why Olivia would want to go to Jada's table to talk about it, but for me, I don't know if that was, you know, pre-planned. Was she doing it as part of a scheme to seem more likable? We'll never know. Olivia says too in the interview that she didn't come on the Red Table Talk to basically make people like her and things like that. She just says that she wanted to apologize. But then she also says that she believes she should be given a second chance because she's only 21 and she didn't know about it. She said she was like shocked and embarrassed, which I find a really hard time believing that she was shocked and didn't know, because she posed in photos to be on the row team, to make it look like she was on the row team. Girlfriend did a photo shoot to make it look like she was on the row team. They don't talk about that in the video, which I was really disappointed, because that's kind of like the smoking gun that girlfriend knew what was up, at least a little bit. And I think if she was going to go on the red table and have people believe that she was truly sorry, I think addressing those photos for one and taking a little bit of a blame would be really intelligent for her. I do also, when I watched this video, I got a little bit of a feel that she went to like a crisis manager or something prior and he gave her like more scripted answers, like she practiced what she was going to say a little bit. I don't know, it just didn't seem super genuine to me. I think if anything too, this kind of breaks her out of her little bubble and making her realize, just having the last name that she does, she's already got one foot in the door. She felt the need to go on national TV and apologize, but she didn't really apologize. She said, I'm sorry a little bit, but for the most part, I felt like she was making excuses a little bit and had a little bit of a woe is me attitude when there's obviously way worse things going on in the world. She definitely gave me the feeling that she's more embarrassed that she got caught and it's out there in public, and I feel like it's actually great that she got caught and it's out there in public, because I don't think she would be sorry and I don't think her parents would really be sorry, to be honest with you. Also kind of tried to place blame a little bit and kept saying, well, I thought everybody had a college admissions counselor. I thought it was normal. You know, he played us a little bit. He kind of tricked us a little bit, but then didn't really go into detail on how. So she wants to say I'm sorry, but then she's using these excuses and kind of blame shifting a little bit. It just seems so disingenuous. What else struck out to me too is during the interview, ask her how her sister's doing, and then she goes into like a little, oh, we live together in an apartment, you know, drive each other crazy. And I don't know, it kind of bothered me because it gave me more of that snotty little rich girl feel, because let's be honest, somebody at that age, if they weren't as well off, whether they're white or black, whatever they are, if they didn't have the money that she has, how do you think having both parents in jail would be for somebody that was dirt poor? How would they get by? How would they eat? What if they didn't have an aunt or an uncle to take them in? How would they get their bills paid? Pretend you're 18 years old and your parents went to jail for something, and maybe you're not living at home, maybe you are. What would you do to pay your parents rent for when they get home after that? Just seemed, again, so insensitive and not putting herself into other people's shoes that could be in the same situation as her, and she's annoyed that like her and her sister live together and they can drive each other crazy sometimes, which is what sisters do, whatever, but girl, you're still living pretty good. I also find it a little insensitive too, because she's like, I had to jump on a plane from my spring break and go back home and I was just so embarrassed. Well, how do you think people feel that, you know, their parents go away to jail? They still have to go to high school or something like that, and everybody in the high school knows. I don't think she's very knowledgeable still in the real world, and she's got a ways to go. I think she could have given a better apology, or maybe hired a better crisis manager. Who knows? I'm gonna hear what you guys think. I hope you guys like this video, and I'll see you soon. Bye.